I am Mallory McLean, a student at Western Governors University, and this is my video for Task 2 for Elements of Effective Communication. Today I'm going to be talking to you about preventing childhood obesity. What are your odds of having an obese child? The research has shown that children that have obese parents have a 70% chance of being obese as an adult and as a child. Our country is 36% obese, and this is a terrifying epidemic. It has a lot to do with the fact that kids don't get out and enjoy the outdoors as much as they used to. They go to school, they come home, they watch TV, they play video games, they eat less fruits and vegetables than what is recommended. A lot of parents think it's easier to just grab a quick bite to eat on the way home instead of going home and cooking a nutritious meal for their whole family because it's easier and it saves time. And I know that we're all busy, but a way around this is, if it's possible, cooking your food and making snacks for a week at a time. The increase in healthcare costs have increased 30%. Just teach your kids to eat smaller portions and choose better snacks, drink more water, less soda, and be active. Go outside and play for at least 60 minutes a day. Obesity has become a serious problem in the United States. There are nearly 78 million adults and 13 million children in the United States that deal with obesity and its emotional effects. The solution to the problem is simple. Eat fewer calories. Exercise more. If you eat higher calories, exercise a little bit longer. There are many medical issues that come along with being obese. Number one, sleep apnea. When you are overweight, you have a lot of weight on your chest when you're trying to sleep, and you actually can stop breathing in your sleep, which wakes you up and causes your sleep patterns to be interrupted, which means you're not appropriately sleeping, which means you're going to be tired and cranky and groggy and just feel gross all the time. Another one is cancer. Being obese raises your risk of cancer because your body can't get rid of all of the dead cells that your body naturally has, and then they become cancer cells. Type 2 diabetes also plays a huge role. This is where your body's glucose is too high. Your body has a way of breaking down food into glucose and carries it through the cells in the body. Your body produces too much insulin and then forgets what to do with it, so your blood sugar levels go out of control. Diabetes is a leading cause of early death, along with coronary heart disease, strokes, kidney disease, and blindness. All of this is caused by type 2 diabetes, which is not good for anybody. Strokes are caused by being overweight because your body builds up plaque in your arteries, and then your blood doesn't flow where it should. This also runs along with high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the force of your blood pushing against the artery walls as it leaves your heart. And if the pressure rises and stays high over time, it can damage the body in so many ways. It destroys your arteries, it destroys your heart, and once your heart is destroyed, you can have an enlarged heart and blood flow problems and holes and tears and rips, and it's just not a good thing. Coronary heart disease. As your body mass increase rises, so does your risk for heart disease. It all has to do with plaque buildup and all of your arteries being clogged, and it prevents oxygen-rich blood from entering your heart and exiting your heart and going to the rest of your extremities. There are things that can be done to fix this growing epidemic. Encourage your kids to exercise at least 30 to 60 minutes a day of moderate to intense activity. Encourage them to eat better. The better they eat and the more active they are, they'll lose weight or maintain a healthy weight. Teaching them when they're young, being active at a young age can prevent being obese. Regular movement can also help relieve pain and joint discomfort from being obese. There are a lot of people that enjoy activity, exercise, and there are a lot of people that don't. That's something we won't be able to change. The good way to start is to calculate your BMI. So what you do is you take your weight and turn it into kilograms and then divide it by your height in meters. And if you are over 30, you are considered obese. The rate of childhood obesity has increased by 30% in the last 15 years. A lot of the obesity in kids is caused by food advertising aimed at your kids. They make it sound like it's fun to go out and eat all the time. The portion sizes are larger than they used to be. There is a lot of overconsumption of sweetened drinks, and there's a lot of decline in physical activity before and after school and on the weekends. There's an increased frequency of eating out because it's a lot easier to just grab a bite to eat on the way home rather than stay home and cook a healthy meal. Increased screen time. Manage your kids. Tell them they're only allowed to have an allotted amount of time every day of sitting in front of the TV and playing video games, and encourage them to go outside and play and be active. A lot of reasons why kids are obese can have a lot to do with genetic factors, and a lot is physical inactivity, and a good majority is also unhealthy eating patterns. In rare cases, being overweight is caused by medical conditions or a hormonal problem, which you can be diagnosed by a doctor and then make a plan with your doctor on how to fix it. A child's total diet and activity level should play a huge role in the child's weight. Too many kids spend too much time being inactive, and it's a trend that needs to change. There is a food pyramid and portion size, which is always available. Anybody can look at it. There are certain ranges where you should be and a certain amount of food you should and should not eat, and people should be aware of it. There are a lot of health risks. First one, again, is type 2 diabetes. Your body doesn't produce any or too much insulin, and then you become insulin resistant. And according to diabetes.org, this is the #1 cause of death in obese people. According to cancer.gov, extra fat in your body can have harmful effects. It produces hormones and growth factors that affect the way your cells work. This can raise the risk of several diseases, mostly cancer. 1 in 20 cancers in the US are linked to being overweight or obese. You have an increased risk for cardiovascular disease. Excess weight and excess abdominal fat significantly increases your risk for heart disease. The association has a lot to do with blood pressure and cholesterol and diabetes. Asthma. Asthma is a huge issue, but it's also a catch-22. If you have asthma, it's hard to be physically active, and if you're not physically active, you have a chance of becoming obese. Obstructive sleep apnea. Your tonsils and adenoids are enlarged and you stop breathing in your sleep. 80 to 90% of pediatric cases of sleep apnea are because of obesity. And most of the time it's cured by tonsil removal and adenoid removal, but that's not always the easiest fix. Obese children have a lot of enlarged nodes because of fatty tissue and fat deposits. Your quality of life is severely decreased because you don't have the mobility that an otherwise healthy person would have. Your joints ache, your body hurts, and society views you as disgusting and a horrible person and lazy. And in most cases, it's not true. People that are obese, they don't always want to be obese, and a lot of them try to fix it and just have a hard time. Treating the disease. You can reduce your calorie intake. That's the biggest obstacle. Obese people are inclined to eating large amounts, and if you reduce your intake to 1,000 to 1,600 calories a day, you are more apt to lose 2 to 3 pounds a week. Do your recommended physical activity, which is 30 to 60 minutes a day, to promote weight loss. Counseling is also available, so you can recognize what triggers your eating habits and what triggers your emotions and figure out how to help. Weight loss surgery is also an option, but it should only be used as a last resort because it comes with a lot of risk. It also comes with a lot of reward, but with weight loss surgery, you tend to have gallbladder issues and appendix issues, according to the Mayo Clinic. Where the responsibility lies. A lot of responsibility lies in parents. They choose fast food restaurants instead of cooking for their kids. They allow their kids to play video games and let them sit around and be lazy and not get out and be healthy. Another option, schools. Schools have unhealthy meals. They also have very healthy meals. But as a child at school, when you're picking your lunch, you get to decide what you want to eat. So parents, you need to encourage your children to make healthy choices. Most times, according to NBC Dateline, obese parents have obese children, and it doesn't change. So fix it. Fix it at the root of the problem. Make better choices. Make your kids understand that obesity can be fixed.